This is the first lesson on gluing a racket. It is about how to properly apply wood sealer. It is not a mandatory requirement. So what is the purpose of wood sealer? It effectively prevents the blade from splintering. For example, during the gluing process, when peeling off the rubber, wood fibers can easily come off together with the rubber. So after applying wood sealer properly, it can effectively prevent splintering and delamination of the blade. If you buy wood sealer, for example, DHES blade wood sealer is a good choice. After opening it, make sure to wipe off the excess liquid. If you apply it too thick, it will affect the performance of the blade. So apply a light, thin layer. Just like applying glue. Make sure every area is covered. The edges are especially prone to delamination. Brush repeatedly from bottom to top, especially near the bottom edge. When brushing the other side, use just a little more liquid. And again, brush from bottom to top. After applying, let it dry overnight. At least 8–10 hours. Then it will be fully dry. You do not need to apply it every time you glue. After gluing 2 or 3 times, you can apply it once again. Always keep it very thin. Applying too thick will definitely affect the feel. Next, let's talk about glue. The glue I'm holding here is organic glue. Its first feature is fast bonding. Usually, after 2 layers, you can finish gluing within half an hour. Second, it is relatively elastic. However, the ITTF has rules that organic glue is not allowed in official competitions. But for amateur players, there is usually no such restriction. After gluing with organic glue, the elasticity usually disappears within 2 to 3 days. So many players re-glue every time they play. Now, let's take a look at water-based glue. The booster oil commonly used for tacky rubbers. And this is DHES number 15 water-based glue. This is a very classic combination. You can also pair white glue with black oil, but black oil is slightly more expensive. Black oil provides stronger elasticity and longer lasting effect. After boosting and gluing with water-based glue, you need to let it dry for more than 10 hours. Each layer needs about 1 hour to dry. It takes more time, but the advantage is that after gluing, you don't need to re-glue for half a year. The elasticity is well maintained. The stability of the feel is why many professional players, whether active or retired, choose water-based glue. As for white glue, you should not use a brush to apply it. It easily creates small white clumps. So when applying it, use a sponge instead. This sponge is disposable. After gluing once, it should be thrown away. It cannot be reused. Now, let's learn how to apply organic glue. First, when applying organic glue, if the rubber is brand new, you should apply at least 5 layers. 5 to 8 layers are all acceptable. If there is no glue layer on the sponge, the base power will be insufficient, so apply 5 to 8 layers. If it is an old rubber peeled off the blade, about 2 layers are enough. Do not apply too much. Brush up and down repeatedly and evenly. This is the first method. Then make sure to pull across the bottom area horizontally. Every area must be fully covered, especially the edges. Otherwise, poor bonding can easily occur. After brushing is finished, just let it air dry naturally. The drying time for each layer is about 15 to 30 minutes. Some people ask if 10 minutes is enough. In summer it can be, but in winter, or in coastal cities, the drying time must be extended. We can also use a horizontal brushing method. That is, brushing sideways. Whether brushing vertically or horizontally, as long as the rubber is evenly covered, that is sufficient. This is an example of horizontal brushing. After brushing, let it dry. About 15 to 30 minutes is enough. How do we know it is dry? When you touch it, there should be no obvious wet glue on the surface. If it is an old rubber, 2 layers are enough. For new rubbers, at least 5 layers are recommended. Now, let's look at how to apply VOC glue to the blade. Why do the edges often come loose? Because the glue was not applied properly, especially during application. When brushing up and down, make sure the edge of the blade is fully covered. You can apply the glue a bit thicker here. Applying it thicker can provide relatively better elasticity. Brushing up and down is sufficient. Brush horizontally at the bottom. After brushing is finished, stand the racket upright on the table. Let both sides dry thoroughly. When applying glue to the rubber, do not get it on the top sheet. If organic glue gets on the top sheet, it is very difficult to remove. During the process, control the amount of glue carefully. The drying time for the blade is about 10 minutes. After applying organic glue, you can glue it directly. Once attached, it can be used immediately. However, the effective period is about 2 to 3 days before performance declines. Next, we will talk about using water-based glue. First, let's learn how to apply booster oil. So which rubbers need boosting? Tacky rubbers. What does boosting actually mean? It increases the elasticity of the rubber, makes the ball come off faster, and improves the rubber's base power. First, do not apply too much booster. Brush evenly from top to bottom. Both horizontal and vertical brushing are fine. Here I used horizontal brushing, as well as vertical brushing. After boosting, let it dry for at least 12–14 hours. Sometimes after 2 or 3 hours. The oil has penetrated the sponge, but only the surface is dry. It's best to let it dry longer. After boosting, the rubber will change from this state to a domed shape. It has already expanded. Now, let's take a look at water-based glue. How should we use it? Which rubbers do not need boosting? Rubbers of butterfly or German-made rubbers do not require boosting. Grippy non-tacky rubbers also don't need boosting. When we use this for the first time, squeeze out about the size of 3 coins. For this gluing method, brush from bottom to top. Do not brush back and forth. If you brush back and forth, it's easy to form small white lumps. Be sure not to apply too much force. And again, avoid brushing back and forth. Both vertical and horizontal brushing are acceptable. Then place it aside to air dry naturally. If it's summer or a dry season, you can let it dry for about 30 to 40 minutes. If the weather is humid, the drying time needs to be longer. When brushing the blade, during the process, it's recommended to brush from bottom to top. Horizontal brushing is not recommended. For the bottom part, still brush horizontally once, making sure the edges are evenly covered. Then let it air dry naturally. The blade usually dries faster. So when should we brush the blade? After the second layer on the rubber. We can then brush the blade. As for the rubber, it's recommended to apply 2 to 3 layers. If it's an old rubber that was peeled off, make sure to remove the old glue first. Don't let the glue layer become too thick. After removing the glue, apply another 2 to 3 layers. The drying time for each layer is about 30 minutes to 1 hour. After it dries, there should be no white glue visible at all. That means it's completely dry. It also shouldn't feel overly sticky. If you brush too slowly, it's easy to form white lumps. So when applying glue, make sure to brush evenly and quickly. And don't apply too much force. Although it's more troublesome to use, its lifespan is very long. The elasticity and feel are very consistent. It's more suitable for amateur players. Now, let's learn how to assemble the racket. First, you must have a roller. Any material of roller will work. Hold the roller with your right hand. Push forward from back to front. As for the pressure, don't use too much force. If you press too hard, air can get trapped. So on the first pass, apply light pressure forward. Then gradually increase the force. You can press back and forth like this. You can also stand up and press along the edges. Press firmly and evenly. Once that's done, the rubber is fully attached. You can then use scissors or a cutting knife. Now, let's look at how to glue an old rubber. How should we attach it? Still align it with the handle position. Use both hands to feel whether both sides are aligned. For example, check if it's crooked. If it is, lift it up again and realign it. Use the roller with your right hand to push forward. During the process, you can repeatedly press like this to make sure it's firmly attached. After pressing it down, press again to improve adhesion. Always use a roller to apply pressure. Can I use a hairdryer when gluing the racket? Personally, I think it's possible. However, using a hairdryer can easily cause the surface to dry while the inside remains wet. If you do use one, blow it for about 3–5 minutes. But if you have enough time, it's still better to let it air dry naturally. Also, gluing a racket is a skill you develop, just like playing table tennis. It's normal not to do it well at first. As you glue more rackets, your technique will definitely improve. You'll then understand what kind of performance you prefer: more bounce or more ball hold.